Hello FLOSSTUBE, it's Lee from Creative Lee on Sunday the 2nd of February. I'm coming to you with FLOSSTUBE number 13. Yay! I haven't rewatched last week's video. I do apologise if it's weird. I originally had a whole chunk of stuff in there. I did a bit of a Q&A about and I found an old tag and thought I should do a little bit of, hey, this is about me and my style and stuff. And the video was quite long. It was about 54 minutes, although I originally had a timestamp in there for when, you can skip this bit if you don't care. It just would not upload. I don't know if the video was too long or there was some other issue with it or YouTube was just being a dick, but basically I started my first attempt to upload the video at about 2 p.m. and typically I save the video and then I start uploading it and I walk away for about 40 minutes and let things do itself. I have all the settings disabled on my iPad so it won't go to sleep and stop it. And when I came back it was stuck on waiting. Waited for a bit long, anyway, cancelled it, tried again from scratch and did the same thing. Third attempt, basically at 11 p.m. when I was well overdue for going to bed on a school night, I went back and had a look and it still was stuck on waiting and I was just, anyway, all of the Googling, all I could sort of find out, the only troubleshooting I could find was, is your video too long? And I'm like, I don't know. I have uploaded one close to 50 minutes, I think 48 or 52 minutes. So 54 minutes doesn't feel like I've reached some kind of magic threshold that I don't know about. But anyway, I was just like, I have to take all that stuff out. So I took out all of the rambly, non-stitchy stuff, which pretty much, and then quickly, did a real hack of an edit. And because it ended up being something like 18 minutes long, that's how much I talked, it uploaded within half an hour. So, I don't know. So there might have been a couple of weird edits in there where I may have referred to something that didn't happen. I only apologise. So hopefully I'll aim to keep this one around 35 minutes max. Because I do want to throw a little bit of extra stuff in there. Otherwise it's just like, hey, here's my stitching, bye. Which I guess is fine, but I can do that on Instagram. So anyway. Hey, for those of you who don't know, my video is supposed to be about 65% cross stitch and let's say 35% random. So far it's been 100% random, but whatevs. So yeah, mostly about cross stitch and a little bit about me and my life. I'm in New Zealand, that's why I talk funny for all of you people who aren't in New Zealand. Yeah, we tend to mumble and talk. We're not an excitable race of people. Actually, it's quite funny. I'm watching a few YouTubes and I don't know, some people are really intense. I feel like, so by contrast, you can watch a YouTube video and there may be someone you watch all the time, really like them and their content, but they really feel a bit tense or intense, or I've got to talk really quick and get all the stuff in. And then there might be a bit where they do a voiceover and they talk, or they're doing a stitch along bit where it's a little bit more calm and relaxed. I so much prefer that. So I think I'm not that intense. I'm just not going to get that excited about stuff. I'm excited on the inside, people. But yeah, it's just a different, I think it's just it's the different culture. If you watch any of the New Zealand YouTubers, we're all just a little bit, yeah, what up, what's up, yeah, whatever, bit cash. Okay, so last week work continued to be nuts. Got home from work late a couple of days, so no stitching on Tuesday, no stitching on Wednesday, and on Thursday, because my colleague friend Lauren and I both worked really late, several days, which is quite normal for us. We decided we'd leave at 4 o'clock on Thursday so we could get to an early screening of a movie. So we're trying to do a movie at least once a fortnight. we have it in our calendars to do so. And we would normally go on a Friday, but she was heading away for a long weekend, so could give me a ride home after the movie. So we went on Thursday and we went to see Just Mercy. I think it's called Just Mercy. Is it called Just Mercy? Oh, so it's, yeah, I reckon, I mean, it's based on true story. So at the end they have all the little updates of what happened with, you know, the main characters and stuff. So, I cried so hard. Like, I had to silent sob. So there was that kind of, like, I wanted to, like, go, but I felt that was inappropriate in the movie theatre. The irony being, it was just Lauren and me. We had the whole theatre to ourselves. It was only a little theatre. We like to go to a little boutique theatre called Lighthouse Cinema. And they have, you know, 2-seater couches, and it's a popcorn-free cinema for those who, it might freak people out, but it's quite nice. You know, you can take your gin and tonic or your glass of wine in, it's quite pleasant. And I prefer most of the time I prefer more art house or slightly, you know, movies that you aren't going to for special effects, so you don't need a big screen yes, we had the whole theatre, so I probably could have sobbed, like audibly sobbed, except, I don't know, Lauren might have freaked Lauren out, right? So, but it was just, I mean, there's just a scene that's just so sad. So, and you know, it's real, like this happened to this character in real life, and it continues to happen. And you know, personally, I listen to a lot of sort of Innocence Project type podcasts and stuff, like Undisclosed and what have you, around just the appalling statistics. Most of these, of course, are based in the States, but I don't think it's just the States that has a broken criminal system, and where once you get into it, whether you're actually guilty or not, just so many factors. Once you're in, it's really hard to get out, even when it's exert F word here, again, obvious that people didn't do this crime. And you know, you grow up thinking that with this false sense of, well, you know, if you're innocent, you'll never be in that situation. You'll never have to worry about proving your innocence. And you know, innocent until proven guilty. But some people are actually just guilty because the colour of their skin or their circumstances, wrong place, wrong time, or just really crappy police work or really crappy support, and it costs so much money, and the system is so ridiculous that why does it take 4 years before you can get your appeal heard, or why are you only allowed one go at it? Like, the law's stupid, and it's designed to keep, you know, and I'm anti the death penalty. I think no one has the right to take anyone's life. I don't believe in an eye for an eye and all that stuff. So I don't know, and I just don't see how, like, you know, an 18-year-old or a 17-year-old can end up going away to prison for the rest of their life. Like, they have no opportunity to how can that even be? He got no opportunity to redeem himself or to even try and rehabilitate. And I think most people aren't evil, and I think most people deserve a second chance. And anyway, blah blah blah, rant over. So this massive trigger, this film was just, you know, I mean, it was a pleasant, nicely put together film. What a terrible way to describe a film, nicely put together. You know, but anyway, just I cried anything, but there was genuine, you know, sob moment there. Again, where are we at? 9 minutes and there's still no cross stitch. Okay, so I did get a little bit of cross stitching done, but obviously most of the week, half the week, not a chance in hell. So, but so Sunday I had a Skype call with my bestie Tan, who you might remember if you've watched Pre-Christmas. She lost her husband after a short but terrible illness, and she's still in Slovenia sorting things out. She wants to stay there a little bit longer. She's of Croatian descent. She's a Kiwi, but with a Croatian passport as well. So she wants to, before she comes back to New Zealand and then has to start her life again, I guess. Keep in mind she quit her job while Swanko, her partner, her husband, was ill. She has to start her life again, and it won't be with her husband. But she has family in Croatia who, so she wants to spend, a few weeks, a month or so there, but maybe based in Slovenia, because basically from her, like if she steps outside her house where she's living, she can look to the left and she can see Croatia, and if she walks up the hill to the supermarket, she can look across the other way to see Italy. So, that's where she is. And she wants to, go and see family and stuff before she comes. And as she said, that's where Swanko is. She scattered his ashes there, where he used to go sailing and what have you. So she's not ready to leave, But I had a lovely 4-hour Skype call with her. We just did a voice because of, because of the data restrictions where she is. She's having to pay for, mobile data. But I got a lot of stitching done then. And on my twisted band sampler, and on Monday night I finished, I got a mini finish, we'll call it. So yeah, my twisted band sampler from Northern Expressions Needlework, 32 count Bisque linen from Lakeside Linens, and using the called for Over Soie d'Alger. And that's what it looks like. Done. And I finished the dark green. So I'm halfway am I, and this dark green was definitely quicker than the blue, because the specialty stitches in the blue were so intense. I have a new favourite stitch. I think last week, because I was trying to remember what they were without looking at the chart, and I think I said, I think that they're some kind of, I don't know what I said they were, but they're not. These ones in here are called Tied Windmill, and I love them. They look so cool. So you've got satin stitching, and then whatever they are, eyelets, not eyelets, road stitches, and then tied windmill, and then the road stitches and the satin stitch, and then just cross stitch here. So I'm done, and that's halfway. It's so beautiful. So I now have to save up my money to get the gold. There's gold, and then orange, and then the pinky, reddy pinks. So 3 more to go. So yeah. Yep, very happy with that. So that'll go away for a month until I get the next colour silk, which I'll probably do a wee floss order in February as I start to think about what I want to start. Maybe March, April. On Thursday night, because I went to the movie and I came home, I didn't feel like stitching, I was quite tired, but I decided to kit up. I spent some time kitting up or working out my start that will be next week, my February start, which I'll start next week, which will be night warped down. So I'll show that before after. I'll show that. So then on Friday I worked from home, which was just so nice to have nobody interrupting me. I had a series of conference calls to do for work and a whole lot of documentation to review, so I didn't need to be at work where people would interrupt me. So worked from home, and then at lunchtime I picked up my Quaker Seasons of Friendship and did another stitch with orange. Where is it? And then I picked this up again on Saturday, did quite a bit yesterday and a little bit this morning. And I'll just fold it. Did all the ironing today. I was a good girl. Hang on, let me work this out. And I'm probably close to, oh, here is, damn, those are all my notes. Here is Quaker Seasons of Friendship. It's from Crown and Thistle. We get it through Dying to Stitch. There's quite a few people doing this. It's a couple of sales, which I keep forgetting to write down the hashtags and actually hashtag it. One is called Gotta Have Friends Sale, and the other one is just, I think it's just Quaker Seasons of Friendship Sale, but it might be QFOS. No, QSOF Sale. I can't remember. Hopeless. I've got them written. Oh, you know what? I've got them written down on a little card. Do I have them written down on a little card? No. Anyway, so here we go. Quaker Seasons of Friendship from Linen, from Crown and Thistle. 40 count fog linen from Country Stitch, New Zealand dye. It's beautiful. And my colour scheme inspiration is from Stitch Palettes. They're on Instagram and they have a website. So that is that. Stop procrastinating, show it. Okay, this is where I got to now, and I'm so happy with it. This is one stitch too high, never mind. At least with this kind of chart you can make it work. And now that I've so did all these bigger motifs and then worked out what I'm going to do with all my little sprinkles. So to try, and there's put a little bit of sparkly Krenak into the light grey when I do the crowns. So all of the crowns will have Krenak. And so I decided all my hearts will be red and some of the flowers will be red, random little things in orange. These little crosses will be in the dark. These filled in ones will be in the light. Light. These open it's a fly. These open ones will be in the medium grey, and these little snowflakey ones will be in the light. So basically, if there's a particular motif that appears in more than one place, like here and here, I'll always do them in the same. And then when I get bigger ones, I'll make a decision about which one I do them in when they're not repeated a lot. All of my little animals will be in the dark. Yeah, so that's a way of just finding order in the chaos, so there's some sort of consistency through it. And most of my large Quaker motifs will be in the dark, in the Gentle Art soot. And I intend, got the one orange one, and I intend to do one of these ones red. I'll have a red one down here somewhere. Oh, I've already got the red one. I'll have another orange one over here, just so that the red and the orange don't overwhelm. They become, they stay as accents, and the majority of it, let's say 75%, will be in the dark. And then the two lighter greys are, I'll use this one for the smaller Quakers, and the light is, kind of like the two light greys are just smaller amounts, but the lightest grey will be the least amount of colour, and so probably the red and orange will be equal-ish. Makes sense to me, but just the whole thing, like, it's a bit like that thing with painting, or when you do colour theory and stuff, where you have, a quarter pint, I don't even know. So I am enjoying that. I do find I need a break from the 40 count though, because it's not as restful, and I don't get in the same rhythm that I do, because I sew in hand. I don't get into the same rhythm that I do when I'm stitching on 36 count or 32 count. And having just spent a couple of days working exclusively with the Averissoir on 32 count, which was just like butter, just soft, and when you do the cross stitch it's just really fast and really smooth, and then going to cotton on 40 count, not quite as relaxing. So I'll have a little break from that for a few days and work on something else, especially when I'm going to have a new start this week. So I'm going to have a February new start. I think I've talked about it several times. And it's on 40 count. Night walk down by the blue flower on 40 count pewter linen from Picture This Plus, which has got a lovely soft, lovely bottly. There's the design if you've not been on the internet for the last little while, and I'm changing a few of the colours. And obviously the fabric, I'm not doing it on the shrinking violet fabric. And because I'm a little bit, and I've already got my chart all working copy ready for scribbling on. And I've pulled together my floss, and this is what it looks like, and I'll talk about what I'm changing and what's happening. So there's all my flosses, which I think are going to look pretty cool, and I will talk about what I've changed and why. And it's a combination of reasons why. And some of the floss could change, because I might get to a certain flower and go, you know what, I don't want those two colours together. I reserve the right to change my mind. But what I've got is what I've kept from the original chart. The wrought iron, which is used in the frame in other places, but it's a very bluey black in the frame. So the wrought iron, I've got the 3 skeins of that, and I'm using the DMC, called for DMC, for the cat and her hair instead of the fancy, because it's more brown and it was also out of stock. Kept polywog, which is mostly for the stems. At the moment, this is what I pulled out for his skin. That might change. It's not what was called for, the DMC. It's the next one up, because it looked too orangey. Anyway, I didn't like it, so I've just swapped it, but it could change. For his skin, DMC. Aged pewter is the called for something, but I had that already. I bought it. That one's not even in there. So yeah, aged pewter is called for, and I had bought it thinking I might use it on the Quaker Seasons of Friendship, and then changed my mind. I got 3781. That's the DMC. I've got DMC. So these are the called for DMCs rather, and mostly they're not used in much. They're only little tiny bits, and I didn't want to buy a skein of fancy floss for what are just small little pieces of colour. Brandied pears and just rust are the called for colour and cotton, and I swapped out cherry bark. I'm using cherry bark somewhere else. No, ignore me. I'm using ruby wine. This is from the Victorian motto, the Victorian Motto variegated set that I got just before Christmas. Well, I ordered just before Christmas. So I decided to use that for the sort of burgundy flowers and stuff. And I love the colour, so, you know. And I had it Mustache. I've got a couple of DMCs. These are not, one of them, so one of the purples calls for Gentle Arts Amethyst. And when I looked it up, no, Gentle Arts Old Purple Paint and Gentle Arts Amethyst. And the moment I pulled these out, I'll see what happens when I get there. I'm not really sure. It called for Gentle Arts Seaweed, which was a in the dress and a couple of other places, which looks very bluey, even though I would have thought seaweed would be a green. But it was a I think it was a limited colour. Don't quote me on that. I say that a lot. But I've decided I want her to have a lovely blue, night blue kind of dress. So I've put in the Victorian Motto blue sampler that again came in the variegated set. So that is going to be her dress and wherever else I need that. I think that it's in the peacock, might be in the peacock tails, or it might be in this, in the border, in the one of the borders. So if it's too dark for the border, I'll, you know, whatever, I can change it for something else. But I definitely think that'll be nice in her dress. And I feel like the night sky walking down would be a deep blue, not that lighter colour. And then the peacock and the owl and the white in there was called for Bamboo, which I think I mentioned looked yellowy on my screen. I don't have it, but I just picked a white, so it's Weeks Dye Works in White Lightning, and it has a nice amount of sort of tonal variegation. So I figured that'll look nice. Peacock and a white peacock and a white owl will look nice with that. Oh, on my fabric. I don't think it'll be too light because both of them are quite substantial. It'll be fine. So that's what I'm starting with. Who knows? I might change a couple of things on the way, but I think they look nice together. You know, the colours look good together. These browns are more. These are all secondary colours. They're not, you know. These are the ones that make an impact. So yeah, anyway, blah, blah, blah. Happy with that. I'm starting that this week. Probably on Thursday. On Thursday, we have a day off work. It's a public holiday called Waitangi Day, which is the equivalent of, the most equivalent way to explain it would be a New Zealand Day. It marks the anniversary of when the Treaty of Waitangi was signed back in 1840. So essentially when an agreement was reached with the majority of the tribes and the Crown around ownership and rights and etc. So it has had a controversial long history, but we mark that day essentially as the day New Zealand, you know, for New Zealand Day, our centenary and bison and 150 years and stuff we're based off that day. So we have that day off, and then I've taken Friday off as annual leave because why would I go back to work for Friday? I have also pulled out a couple of these sparkly threads that I might use. These are those, you know, horrible DMC things, but I have them. They can be quite challenging to stitch with, but I've got like a silver and a gold. I might use those depending on what colour I do the moon. The moon is, you know, like I might use that in the moon to spark instead of or as well as. I mean, on 40 count, yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I mean, you can always pull it undone, you know. I'm not afraid to try something and then go nope and pull it out. So I've just kept it, I've thrown it in the bag. It's horrible stuff to stitch with, but the moon's like tiny. It's probably 40 stitches or something. It's fine, you know. So yeah, that's all ready in my bag, ready to go. So that will be started probably on Thursday, on my day off. And basically I've got a 4-day weekend, whoop whoop, and no plans. So we're not complaining about that. And I've started looking ahead to what I might, working through what I need to order. In February I'll need to put an order through for my Halloween Lila Studio Halloween Quaker, which will be my March start. Not necessarily on the 1st of March, but my March start. So, and then I started looking ahead at a couple of other charts that I've got that I think I want to start the Plum Street Friendship sampler, so I can if I start that in April, that gives me plenty of time that I could potentially gift it to my friend Tan in October for her birthday. It gives me time to stitch it. It's not massive, but it has quite a lot of stitching in it. And so started looking at fabric, what threads I need, that whole thing with which things would I stitch in DMC, because I need 7 stitches for it. I'm not buying a specialty floss for that, whereas big houses with variegation and stuff, that whole beauty of it is that I think in some cases the variegation. So I started planning the fabric and what I need for that, and the colour, what I would change, because I would want to change there's 2 girls in there, and I would want to change their hair colour and maybe their dress colour and their skin colour. So I'll stay pale. My friend is a bit more olive with her Mediterranean Croatian ancestry. She has a more olive complexion, so I'd make her more olive, me pale because I have Scottish ancestry, and let's call my hair brown, and hers black, dark brown. So yeah, I'd make at least those changes and probably a couple of other changes. So I think that's because I want to be able to give that to her this year framed. I should really start that. So that will probably be my April start, and then I was looking ahead. I think I've looked at Halloween Quaker, Friendship, and another one that I can't think what it was, that I started to look at planning the fabric for that, and it completely slips my mind, but that's okay, it'll be a surprise. So yeah, again, what do I need to order from a far and away land to have that shipped to be in time for, have that all kitted up ready to go. And I think I want, if that makes April, then May. I'm not interested in mania in that I'm not starting 19 things or anything. I would never have the stash to do that. I don't have 3 pieces of fabric, let alone 20 pieces of fabric. I don't have 20 charts, so not happening. But so in May, I really would like to do, I don't know. It's like, do I start another long dog? No, I have to finish my other one first. Or do I look at a Nora Corbett or a Mirabilia? Because I really would like to do one. Blah blah. Okay. I grabbed a previous finish. So figure I don't have that many more to show. Maybe 6 or 7. But we're done, getting smaller and smaller mostly. So I thought I'll show one. Now, I feel like, I don't know where I got this chart from. I probably borrowed it from that same lady that I borrowed the Prairie Schoolers from. I feel like I've seen this recently, either someone's showing their stash or they were flicking through some stuff. I don't think it was in a magazine, because I feel like I borrowed the chart. I had a quick look online through like ABC Cats and stuff, and I couldn't find it. I found it one of those dodgy Russian sites where you know that it's not legit, where they've just scanned stuff. So whatever. I do like cats. So I do have a number of cat samplers. You will see, I think this is the start of the cat samplers for the next few weeks. And I'm sure it would have been mostly called for, it looks like it's on 25 count, Lugana. It's definitely an even weave with big crosses. And I stitched it in 2004. So down the bottom, down here I've got it dated. With my initials, 2004. It's quite cute. So I envision sometime in my future, and it will evolve over time. When I get everything, as I frame things and get things framed, I imagine I've got a wall, I've got two walls. I've got one in my spare room and one in a wall that is sort of in my kitchen, except it's the walkway from the garage it walks past the kitchen it's an open plan house, and it's just a wall. It's a big wall. It's a wall. And I'm gonna, probably that can be my sampler wall, but I would like over time to be able to swap things out. So the magic of 3M is, this month or this quarter, probably quarter, because I ain't changing stuff monthly. So where some people do seasonal decorating, which isn't going to happen here, we don't really have those kind of seasons here. We don't have snow. I wear the same clothes all year round. I literally wear one layer of clothing. It just doesn't get that cold here, and it doesn't get that hot here. It gets humid, but in winter we get a little bit of frost occasionally, and in summer it gets some days a little bit hot. But mostly it's a very temperate climate, so we don't have seasons. All of our native trees, I'm pretty sure all of them are, but most of our trees are evergreen. The only deciduous trees are imports, but people just don't have a lot of them. So we don't have leaves falling. We don't do pumpkins. I don't celebrate Easter. I don't celebrate Christmas. I don't celebrate Halloween, except I do like witchy stuff. So it's more like, I like witchy stuff, but not Halloween. All that to say, I'm more likely to kind of go, hey, this quarter I'm going to do my cat samplers. So where I've got 5, 6, whatever, cat samplers or related samplers, I'll put them up. And then the next quarter might be the more, I don't know, sunflowers and bees, where I've got a few sunflowers, a few things with bees, and then another quarter might be samplers with houses. It's the more traditional looking, and then maybe one quarter subversive sampler month where I have snarky and sarcastic and crap, So because I'm going to keep stitching, and I'm going to end up with lots of stuff, and I don't have a massive house, and I only really have a couple of walls, that I could dedicate that to. So I'll just swap them out. I think that'll be kind of cool. So when I finally get all my cat samplers framed, I think I've got 1, 2, 3, 5 or 6 already that I could get framed. Then I could have them up. Anyway, that's the plan. I hope everybody's doing okay, getting some stitchy time in, enjoying the weekend. Welcome February, and I am going to now go and make bagels. I made some bagels yesterday. I made everything bagels. That was such an easy recipe. I'm going to make some more today, but I'm just going to do sesame seed ones because they're so quick to make. And it was my first time making bagels, and they were they were the best. It was the best bagel I ever ate. The texture was just fantastic. Fresh bagels, yay. So I'm going to make some more. So I've got bagels for lunch this week. And I'm going to drop some around to a friend who was feeling a bit crappy. So I'll make her a batch of bagels and drop them off to her. Okay, everybody, in the meantime, keep stitching. Don't let your needles rust. Ciao.